Hey, what's up, everybody? Hello. Oh my gosh, I did it again, you guys. I did it again. I freaking deleted my recording. Okay, I didn't delete it. So on GarageBand, it only lets you do 8 bars worth of recording, and I forgot, I forgot to freaking extend it and let it just go till the maximum capacity. So the maximum capacity was only 8 bars, and so I was talking for like 15 minutes to nothing. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm glad that it's making me laugh instead of making me angry like it usually does. Anyway, welcome. It's Wire 21. That's the podcast name. And I am Jimmy B. Riggin. And I got some knowledge to drop on you today. I actually have some knowledge, something from me. I got some rules. I got some stories. Stay tuned. Like it's the radio. I'm your radio host. Anyway, all right. Rule number one. And today I'm going to be talking about discipline, and these rules and whatever else. Okay. Rule number one is no one cares about what you're doing until it makes them feel inferior. Okay? Let that sink in. Think about when that's happened to somebody else think about when that's happened to you in your life. It's probably true. You can probably think of an instance. Number two, no one cares about what you're doing until it adds value to their lives. That one's pretty simple. Number three, no one cares about what you're doing until it adds value to their lives to make others feel inferior. Now, those are a little bit cynical, but such is the world. The world is a cynical place, all right? So, I have a story. I have a cousin, and growing up, he was ugly. He was scubby, skinny, chubby. His words, not mine. He was not well liked by the cousins. I think because he was friendly, he had some friends and stuff. But he was not very well liked just because he was kind of ugly and kind of scubby and stuff. And I don't think he likes himself at that age either. He's told me some stories, but neither here nor there. So, but he was very out of shape. I don't think he could even do one push-up. Yeah, he couldn't do one push-up. But anyway, so I became friends with him after I pitted him one time. Me and my cousins used to run away from him and we used to run away from him as a game. Me and his older brother and our other cousin. And then one day he ran through a bunch of puncture weeds, and his brother and my other cousin kept running, and I felt terrible. So I went back and helped him, and that was the day that I became his friend. And then we would hang out a little bit more. But anyway, I was a little bit athletic, and I went to the gym, and I introduced him to the gym, and that's when I found out that he could only do one push-up, or he couldn't do one push-up. He had to do girl push-ups, I think, in the beginning. Anyway, but I took him to the gym just like once or twice with me, and then he got a gym pass, and he took to the gym like a fish in water, right? He became a gym rat, and everybody hated him in the beginning because he was a gym rat, and I even hated him because gym rats are annoying. They're very self-centered. But the thing is that he went through all of the phases of being a gym person. Let me tell you right now, he is very physically fit. He's 6'3", probably 230, 220, fluctuates around there. And he married a beautiful woman. He did very well for himself considering where he came from. But anyway, back to where he was. He was just a total gym rat douche, and everybody hated him. I even was like, dude, you're so into yourself. All he cared about was his biceps, and that's the wrong way to go about lifting. You don't just lift your biceps. Anyway, he went through all of the different phases that you need to go to figure out how to be a successful lifetime. I wouldn't say bodybuilder, but fitness enthusiast. And he's doing it. I don't think he's been going to the gym he's 23 now, I think, or something. And he's been going ever since he was 14, 15 years old. And I think it's going to be he's going to do it for his lifetime. It's a part of him now. But in the beginning, when he started to actually get some gains, the people that he started lifting, because I just introduced him to the gym, and his friends gave him workout routines, and they were actually shredded. His friends were pretty shredded, and they had Spartan six packs, but they weren't just like little skinny, F boys. They were big Spartan six packs and big dudes. And he started lifting with them, but then when he started getting big and started going kind of out on his own, they started talking crap. They started saying that Logan sucked, which in some areas, he only cared about his biceps, stuff like that, where he really didn't understand a few things, but he figured it out eventually. But they just shat all over him. They just pooped on him all the time, right? So in the beginning, nobody cared about what he was doing, right? And then when he started to get bigger than some people, then they started to care because it made them feel inferior. Okay. And then, he got, now he's big enough and he's at the gym enough. And the gym that he went to was a fairly small gym, fairly intimate gym. So people that were there, he developed friendships with these people, even the people that were talking crap on him, because I was one of them. And I think he did such a good job of just letting the water roll off his back. You know what I mean? Just letting the crap, just brush it right off. He did such a good job of that, I think. And he used that to fuel his ambition in becoming giant. And now he's terrifying looking. Although he wouldn't hurt a fly. He's a sweetheart, but he's terrifying looking if he was mad at you, I bet. But anyway, so now he's at the point where people come to him for advice. People ask him how to lift, but in the beginning, people just shat all over him. People talked crap on him. People still do, but that is an instance where I've seen this happen, where nobody cared about what he was doing until it made them feel inferior, and then nobody cared about what they were doing until it added value to their lives. And then the third one is no one cared about what he was doing until it added value to their lives to make others feel inferior. That's where I come in, because a lot of the time I want to go to the gym because I just want to be bigger than other people. I don't necessarily want to be physically fit, but I do need physical exercise in order to feel good. So there's there's how that instance, there's the example in my life, and I'm sure you guys can think of a few examples in your life of where this is true. But I think, now let me segue a little bit. I want to talk about discipline a little bit, because, my cousin had discipline. And I kept feeling like I just needed to do this podcast every day. And the reason I'm talking about this is because, like I said, if this becomes a success, then I'm going to document, it. I'm going to document it so that everybody, you have something to go on. You have things, there was a process, and maybe I can put it into a book one day or something if it really actually does turn into a success. And because right now, I'm in the phase where nobody cares what I'm doing. Nobody does. The only people that care are people that care about me. You know what I mean? Nobody is listening to this and are like, oh, this is good, because it doesn't make them feel inferior. I'm just offering up knowledge or talking about things that are simple. Maybe they're a little bit intriguing. Maybe it's a little bit entertaining, but I'm in that phase right now where nobody cares what I'm doing. Trying to get out of it, but I don't want to make people feel inferior, but I want to get to that point, because here's another thing that I know is when you're doing good things in life, that's when opposition is going to come. I think it was Simon something or other. That Simon guy that talks about the millennials. Hold on a second. I think this is rules that he came up with. I'll say them real quick. All good will be attacked. All value must be defended. Opportunities will always be accompanied with difficulties. So, I invite the people that I make feel inferior. I don't want to make them feel inferior, but that's why I think I want to get to that next phase, because I want this to be a success. Anyway, I'm telling you why I got to this conclusion. Earlier, I felt like I just wanted to do this podcast every day, and I didn't know why. And I didn't have very good material. The stuff is just subpar. Unless you guys think maybe it's okay. I liked my yesterday's podcast. I thought it was pretty funny, but I was just doing that one because I didn't know what else to do. I wrote down a list of things that bother me, and I went through a few of them. I can do another one if people like that. Put comments in stuff if you want to hear about it. Anyway, so I like my job right now. I don't like that I get dirty. It's very dirty. I encapsulate pills. I get very dirty, and I don't like that. And then I don't like the lunch situation. But the people that I work for they're just such good people. My boss came to me today and basically gave me a tip, because he saw that I was busting my butt. I finally am getting the hang of things, and I think, I actually enjoy what I'm doing. It's a small environment where I enjoy it. It's not what I want to do for the rest of my life unless, I'm working with these good people. Then I'm okay with doing it for the rest of my life. But, anyway, but I came home and I'm doing everything good, and I had a good podcast last night, and I'm just feeling terrible. That balloon came in my chest, and the depression came in, and I wanted to do a podcast so bad, because I wanted to just do it every day, but I couldn't. I couldn't think of anything good. I couldn't think of anything that I wanted to say that is worth having people listen to. And then I was scrolling through Facebook, and I saw some church things. I'm LDS, and I saw some church things, and I was watching the video on Facebook, it was a dumb video. It was about weddings. I hate weddings, but it was a church thing. And then I would scroll down, and as soon as I scrolled down and there was some other video, I started to feel bad, and I was like, "What the heck?" And I scrolled back up to the other video that had to do with church stuff, and I started to feel good again. I was like, okay, all right, I'm onto something here. So my wife and I decided to watch the LDS Christmas devotional, and we just watched a little bit of it, and I just broke down. I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to put my heart on my sleeve here. I just started bawling for no reason. It happens sometimes, you guys. It happens. Sometimes you just got to go in a freaking closet and let your tears out, let your just, emotion. Because there's a video of Louis C.K., once again, another creep that got taken down, but he had something good to say. I'm sure you've heard the story. If you haven't, look it up. It's like Conan O'Brien or something like that, where if you just let the sadness and stuff in, then your body naturally releases endorphins afterward to help you feel better. Anyway, but during that, I just started. My wife paused the video, and I just started talking, and I just said, "Man, I just don't have." Blah, 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 blah. I just was complaining and just was trying to get out my feelings, and then I said, "I don't have any discipline. I can't even show up to work on time," because I did. I was 15 minutes late this morning, and then yesterday I was like 2 hours late or something. I couldn't even show up to work on time, and then it hit me. That's why I want to do the podcast every day, because it's a form of discipline. And I realized, but I am the Lord or the universe, whatever you want to call it, because I want to appeal to everybody. It's not going to reward me with a successful podcast if I'm not disciplined. And I need to discipline myself in every aspect of my life, in time, in money, and that was another, yeah, in time, in money, and in everything. And I can't even show up to work on time to a job that I kind of enjoy. I enjoy the people I work with. I have my headphones in all day, and I can just do my thing, and I don't mind it, but I can't even show up to that on time. So I don't have any discipline. So I'm telling you guys, you need discipline. You need to figure out how to do that. I would definitely recommend Jocko Willink. He has a book. Oh man, it's like a field guide or something to discipline. I would definitely recommend it, or just looking up his podcast. He was a Navy SEAL, um, and just a hard dude. And he's got an awesome podcast. I would definitely recommend listening to him if you want to get some discipline in your life and maybe be more successful in whatever it is that you're doing. That's all I have for today. I feel better. I feel good. I feel great. I'm going to get to work on time tomorrow. Set my alarm, make sure I'm going. It's late now, so I need to hurry and get to bed so I can get up in the morning. Love you. Love you guys. Yeah. Message me on YouTube, Facebook. Uh, what's the other thing? I am on Instagram and SoundCloud. Wire 21 with Jimmy B. Riggin. And soon, Ben be jammin'. Bye.